Good morning, welcome back to another video, and today is another day of the 0 to Gold Cap Challenge. Now just stick around and enjoy the video. Okay, so today we are going to be farming up Sethic Halls. And basically, I had a little thought when I was running Mana Tombs the other day, and I was like, I wonder what all the other ones in the actual vicinity are, like how good those ones are. And obviously I didn't have these ones in WorthIt, so Mana Tombs, obviously I was running that. Had the idea. You have the crypts, you also have Shadow Labyrinth and Sethic Halls. And the one that actually sprung to my head was Sethic Halls. So I actually went ahead and did this. So, judging by all of this that I actually have in my bag, I was actually pretty surprised on how much worth of stuff I actually managed to get a hold of throughout this run. And yeah, I got quite a lot of hefty amounts of stuff when it came to just Sethic Halls in general. So I actually went ahead and I did a full farm, and today we're actually going to be going over what I actually managed to get a hold of. So we'll go into WorthIt, we can just go into bag value, and in an hour's worth of farming I managed to get 32,000 gold's worth of stuff. That is absolutely amazing, and the key things of note are we actually have nodes within the instance, such as with like the Mana Tombs for Corium Ore. We actually got 4 Corium Ore and 3 Eternium Ore. Eternium Ore doesn't sell for all that much, but Corium Ore sells for like 249 gold at the moment on my server, so that's pretty damn good. We also got a load of different types of transmogs like Umberfen stuff and the Iron Spine gear. Basically, it's just an array of different items, and the actual sell rates on these differ quite a bit. One thing of note is sell rate 0.03, and you've got the region average daily sold of 0.06. That's really good. You tend to find these around these types of areas. So with the sell rate for this one is 0.03, and then the region average daily sold is 0.06 again, and it's like an array of these items that are like Consortium Mantle 0.02 to 0.04, and obviously the gold for some of these are really low, and then you've got some of them that are like super skyrocketed, like stupid amounts. And the thing that I actually get from this is you got to be really lucky to get a hold of some of these things, like Blood Knight stuff actually drop from here, and that is something that we actually got. We actually got the chest piece, and Blood Knight, in my experience, actually sells rather well in the grand scheme of BC Transmog. So that is really handy to know that it actually drops from here, and it actually worked out quite well. So what we're going to be actually doing is we're going to do a full run of this actual instance, and I'm going to explain what and how the actual run is performed in my books, and then we'll go about doing it that way. So without further ado, let's run into the instance, and obviously we've got to pretty much load up Loot Appraiser because we're going to do that. There's some mobs here that I'm actually going to be doing, and pretty much it's actually really interesting, this farm. So if you try and gather up loads of them, so at one point, and you actually try to gather up more than what is like more than a room's worth, then some of these actual controllers and these Sethic initiates can actually cast a spell which makes you de-aggro everything, and everything resets. So you've got to be real careful. Like here, I've just pretty much done that on purpose, obviously. But yeah, they have the ability to actually de-aggro you by casting a random spell on you, which is very annoying, and it just like resets all of these Sethic guards and a load of the mobs. Obviously not all of them are reset, but at the end of the day it's really irritating. So what I've been tending to do when actually farming up Sethic Halls is pretty much just running into here, grabbing as many as I can. So I break up a room into 2 segments. So I get the first part, and then I go ahead and get the next part of the actual instance. So when it comes to like a room like this one's kind of tiny, so I still have enough time before they start casting all of the de-aggroing things. I can then start killing them immediately. But if it's like a massive room of these mobs, then I will just kill them as they are. So like just as a pack, kill them. Same with the ramparts, I did that the same way as well. And that is how I tended to go about doing it. Obviously we got the boss, we actually got another piece of Blood Knight stuff, a Blood Knight breastplate, and the region market value average sold is 745 gold. Really do enjoy doing this at the moment, and when it comes to this room, I have worked out you are able to pull this part of the room because it's very slowly condensed as long as I pull them and start killing them pretty much now, and can't just burn them down into one group. So you've got to be real careful of the de-aggroing because then you have to run back and grab all of those guys, and that is something that I would bear in mind moving forward. Now, aside from all of that, all we've got to do now is we've got to just make our way over to the other room. We'll just make sure we kill those packs of mobs. It's really mainly the first load of mobs that actually really de-aggro you, so just be really careful at the beginning of the actual run that you're not going to de-aggro yourself, because it is really irritating. But you've got to be careful at this point here that you don't over aggro and you start burning down like as soon as possible, otherwise they will wail on you somewhat. Now all we've got to do now is loot up. There are ghosts that will attack you, don't worry, they will disappear, they don't do any major damage to you. Like obviously I'm like still full health and everything, but aside from all that, it's really dead simple to actually run this actual instance. Now the tricky part for this one is this one's the same type of room as the other one, so what I've been tending to do is just using my soothe ability and trying to kill them as fast as possible before they start de-aggroing and doing all their weird spells, shenanigans and all that jazz. So that being the case, we're at the end of the actual instance, and what we can do here is we can just burn down this pack of mobs here, and then we can go for the boss. Now obviously with the first run, this one is very RNG based, so what you want to do is you want to turn to your right and then just keep going, and it should take you back to the beginning again. Now this is really easy to actually run because of the map and how it's laid out. It's basically in a square type fashion where you have to go up a couple of levels and go down a couple of levels, but realistically it's just running in a circle or a square to be more precise. And overall I found this actual run to be really good. Okay, so we've basically got that. We're going to destroy all of our trash right there, and we're actually going to run out and just get rid of all of these soulbound stuff as well, just to make sure that all of that stuff is done and dealt with. So what do I actually think of Sethek Halls? Well, Sethek Halls is actually really good, but there is one little catch to it. This one is super heavily RNG based if you're going to get anything decent. I was actually playing around with this yesterday, and it's very heavily RNG based on how many greens you're going to get. Like one of the runs I managed to get none of the greens to actually drop, no BOEs, and then the next run I got like a ton of them. It's really interesting to actually see on how well the actual loots are dropping, but aside from that, it's actually pretty not that bad to actually do. I've very much enjoyed actually farming up Sethek Halls, and it's just something a bit fresh and a bit different than just running the same old standard raids and dungeons for Transmog as you usually would. And it has a strong gold per hour, 32,000, and that is on ADEU, so I can't really complain with that overall. So what am I planning on doing moving forward when it comes to all of this? Well, obviously I'm going to be selling this transmog. I will probably be working on trying to see which other transmog farms are actually pretty any good. And overall, I actually thoroughly enjoyed Sethek Halls. I was actually able to, if I really tried for it, I could actually get the actual run down in about just under 3 minutes. And that means in half an hour I could do my 10 lockouts, and then theoretically I could actually start farming fell iron ore around the outskirts of the area in Terrakar Forest until my reset is up, then I can go back in. So then you can pair that with a transmog farm, and you can also pair that with mining as well. Herbalism for BC is not overly that good, but my idea on it is I could do a transmog farm in like mana tombs or Sethic halls being today's video. I could do half an hour's worth of farming, get my lockout, and then fly around the outskirts, picking up all the herbs and mining ore, and then I can jump back in once that hour has reset the dungeon, do another half an hour, then start farming fell iron ore. That means I get a wide variety of mats, and then I also get a wide variety of transmog. So I get the best of both worlds by just combining an hour's worth of farming with a dungeon and open world mining. Herbalism in BC is a bit up in the air depending on your server, so for me it's not worth it, but if it is worth it for you, I'm not going to discourage you from doing so. Aside from all of that, overall, Sethic Halls is by far one of my most favourite farms in order to do. It's pretty dang awesome, and overall I think it's definitely a underrated transmog farm. Aside from all of that, guys, just want to clear up one little thing, and that is, yes, I was tired yesterday. For the people who were asking in the comment section for yesterday's video, I pretty much did not sleep. But aside from all that, I have actually fully rested, and now I can get back to working on some more videos. Ta-da-da! Yeah, obviously I've got a few weeks off of work now because obviously SL was supposed to be released like today and, well, yesterday, but aside from that, that's not really overly that much of a big problem because I'm going to turn it into a positive and just work on some higher end content while doing my standard daily content as well. So be prepared for some like really big videos coming out in the next upcoming weeks or so. But aside from all of that, guys, have an awesome rest of the day, and I shall see you in the next video, which will be tomorrow. If you want to support the channel and help make the channel even better, then why not check out the Patreon? Members get additional info, gold making resources, and Patreon specific content. The link is located in the description down below. Thank you and have an awesome day.